They will try and make you feel insignificant and unimportant. Unfortunately, these are their own insecurities, and they just completely take them over. They can't help it. What happens is they see things in you that are not within them, or at least they think are not within them. But we of Children of Light, we know that those things can be tapped into if you do the work. But anyhow, this process, it immediately triggers them. And like I was saying, it's beyond their control. It's like on an automatic it's like an automatic relay. It's like a reflex. You see, they've never really experienced your type of energy before, or your light. They have a hard time processing it. The light you hold, it's like I was saying, it automatically illuminates all of their shadows. This is just a natural process. It's a natural thing that happens. This is really why we're here. You see, you really must come to terms with this. You were created, my friend. You were created for this. You are a catalyst. You are a catalyst for change. No matter where you go, if you're standing in your authority, if you're standing in your assignment, your energy alone, it changes things, the energy of things. The triggers are flipped specifically for this purpose. Your presence, a lot of the time, is your purpose. It's really up to you, and it's being asked of you in this time to understand this and find ways to better handle and manage it. You've been going through this awakening stage for a while now. Some of us for many years. Some are just beginning their journey. There's also reasons for that. You're being asked to really try to dig in to approaching things a different way, to move away from the trauma response like action to things. For example, when you notice someone, this is just an example, if you notice someone kind of, just say you walk in somewhere, you have an interview, or even you're standing in line somewhere, or whatever, you're around people, and you just feel like, for whatever reason, out of the blue, because that's how it happens, and then we're sitting there wondering, like, what the heck's going on? You notice the energy of the person literally trying to make you feel insignificant. So when you see this happening, and you will a lot, it's being asked, don't dim your light. Don't, cower down and play it safe, and, stop doing that. That is a trauma response. And you're truly being asked to dig deep and try to heal this, okay? Now, that doesn't mean be arrogant, and shine your light so bright, like, look at me. No, that's not what this means. It just means to stand in your authority. Know that angels walk with you. Know that ascended masters walk with you. Know that the eye of God is upon you through everything. And they're not going to let you fall. In fact, they're just waiting for you to realize that. And once you do, you will find such a sense of peace. No matter where you go or what you're doing, you won't be worried about the crowds or if there's going to be people, or you won't be worried about that anymore. You know, you need to find a way. See, the light can only really shine its potential in dark spaces, you see. That is where we're called to, or the dark spots. That is our purpose. And I feel like for some of you, for a long time now, you try to shut out that darkness or veer from that darkness, cut that darkness off. And that's truly the opposite of what you should be doing. Now, I'm not saying put yourself in danger. You need to have discernment on some things. But that is really where your assignment is. Remain humble. You're being asked to put your fears aside and be an inspiration, an example to people, to others. Regardless of what you may know, your inner knowings of the energies, any of that. This is a test for you. Can you handle it? We're being called to such a high assignment, and it's not even begun yet. I'm here to tell you, it's not even remotely begun yet. Things are escalating in the world at such a rate, and some of us are not evolving at the rate that we are called to. So therefore, Father will, in fact, make things darker around you to push you into your position that you need to be, for you to understand, for you to finally get there to where you need to be. Eventually, by doing this, by never dimming your light, staying consistent in your purpose, staying consistent to who you are, this all goes hand in hand, because this is also a healing and a growth for you, but also it acts as a catalyst for the other people, for it to trigger change within them. So I'm not going to go too deep with this, but God is really asking me to go a lot deeper with things. Some things are just deep. Some things are just mysteries. He's really asking everyone to meditate, create that intimate relationship with Him, and truly, those things that you wonder about, those things that keep you up at night, He wants to reveal them to you. You have no idea where you're headed, okay? We are in a spiritual army. I'm sure some of you realize this already. And it's much more than videos on YouTube. It's much more than memes. Okay? Our path requires dedication. Our path requires obedience. Our path requires discipline. Our path requires personal death. And when I say that, I mean anything and everything that we once known has got to be stripped completely from us in order for what God has for us to enter. We cannot be in the receiving mode for God and what He has for us and these gifts that He wants to bestow upon us. We cannot be available if we're still holding on to addictions, and that comes in many forms, like shopping, material things, food, the social media, our appearance, any of it. Even our idea of money. You know, we should be okay with having nothing at all and still having that faith and that joy. Those things should not be able to shake us in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's really where He's taking us. And this is for most definitely a higher purpose. Because I'm going to tell you, this is a spiritual war. And He needs warriors. People who are willing to sacrifice. And that's what it's all about. And the reward is beyond comprehension. It's eternal, everlasting life. Can you imagine when it's the end of your time? Can just imagine you standing before God, and you can say, "I fought for you." Literally. I sacrificed for you just like your Son did, just like Jesus. I slayed demons for you. I slayed shadows for you. I saved souls for you. How honorable would that be? I wouldn't want to know us knowing where we're headed at this time. We are in the dark ages, but it's for a reason. It's for a bright reason. So don't let that misconstrue you, okay? But I surely wouldn't want to be potentially chosen by God at this time, and then it comes to my end time, and I'm before God like, "Oh, Father, I'm sorry. I just couldn't give up the sweets. I just couldn't give up any kind of days of fasting for you. I was just so attached to it. Oh, I couldn't help but do all that window shopping, and oh, I couldn't help but gaze at this person, and lust, and it's just who I am, and I couldn't help doing this." What? No. And then He's going to say, "Well, honey, child, I can't help it, but this is what you chose." He's really asking us all who have been called, to really think about these things. So some key points to just keep in mind. Always remain in integrity no matter what you're doing. If someone triggers you, oh well. Ask God, guide me. Father, I don't want to, I'm feeling these feelings of anger, but I don't really want to feel them right now. Please remove these feelings from me. Help me to understand. Deal with this, Father. And He will, okay? God will not handle or deal with any problems we have if you take it upon yourself to think you're big and bad to deal with it yourself. He'll say, "Okay, You think you got it? Go ahead. Truly. Don't test him, because he will leave you hanging. He's not going to let you he's not going to let you fall, but he's going to show you what's up. Always hold your composure. Always present yourself with compassion to others. You know? Empathy. For my empaths out there, you can relate. We have no choice. That's just how we are. But let me just note, I won't go into detail in this video, but there are boundaries as us empaths that we must have. But that's for another video. Please, lastly here, I'll wrap it up. It's gone a little longer than what I wanted, but please remember that only God can judge. Yes, He uses us as a vessel for His awareness. Never look at someone in judgment. Never. Okay? The measure that we judge others is the same measure that we will be judged. And this is so true. Okay? You must see others in compassion and understanding. What they choose to do, whatever their path is, whatever their reality and awareness is in that moment, it's just what it is. Because guess what? You've been there too. You've not always been who you are in the mind that you have. Okay? You need to reel it back in and check yourself a little bit. Vengeance is mine, O saith the Lord. He will handle things as He sees fit. We don't have the authority for that. We just need to do the best we can with what we have for Him. So I just want to end this in scripture. And He really put this on my heart today. To share with you all. We're going to turn to Hebrews chapter 10. It's verses 35 and 36. So don't throw away that courage of yours, which carries with it such a great reward. For you need to hold out, so that by having done what God wills, you may receive what He has promised. Okay. So I'm going to continue just on to 37 and 38 because I feel it's so important. Because it's so easy for us to get comfortable. And I made a video about this, not really to the extent to what I wanted, but I'm working on the videos with time. I just get so rushed sometimes, and I apologize. It's so easy for us to get comfortable, prop our feet up. Life's good, I'm blessed, hey. No, that's not what it's about. In verse 37 and 38, there is so little time. The one coming will indeed come. He will not delay. But the person who is righteous will live his life by trusting. And if he shrinks back, I will not be pleased with him. And the rest is history. You can take that how you will. I know what it means. I know you know what it means. Just because you do well for a short while, you have that awareness that you need to still do that. You even have that awareness and knowing that you need to elevate it. You need to evolve it. You need to go deeper. That's what this is all about. But you failed to do so. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not going to cut it. It's just not. But anyhow, I have no idea how long I have let this go on here. But I think I'm going to wrap it up now. And until next time, as always, peace, love, and blessings.